Unconditioned reflexes are an automatic response of an organism to stimuli regardless of conditions of their appearance. They have a most important protecting function, providing organism survival. The second-class biosafety cabinets provide personnel, product, and environment protection inherent in work with airborne pathogenic agents and microorganisms. Microorganisms cannot move themselves. But if they join a dust or moist particle, they can move in the air, threatening to contaminate all living beings on Earth. HEPA filters installed in the cabinet effectively retain mechanical particles with deposited on them pathogens, preventing their release into the environment. But you cannot use filters everywhere. For example, you cannot use a filter in the front cabinet opening, as it is through it the personnel provide working inside the cabinet, and it is the place where hazardous pathogens, if they appear in the working chamber, can leak into the environment. An air curtain can be the answer to this problem. It is formed by the airflow forced in by a fan through the front opening into the front air grill. The velocity of the airflow should be constant, and there shouldn't be any barriers which can break the integrity of the airflow. Constant velocity and integrity of the airflow can only guarantee that the air curtain provides an effective personnel protection. On the other hand, such protection has a disadvantage. You cannot see the air, so you cannot indicate any deviations in integrity or air velocity without special tools. To solve the problem, biosafety cabinets should have audio-visual warning system. And the more perfect the system is, the faster and more effective it works. The more reliable is the personnel and environment protection which the cabinet ensures. Creating the new generation of microbiological safety cabinets, the specialists of LEM Systems CC have brought the warning system response to the reflex level. Similar to the unconditioned reflexes animals have, the cabinet audio-visual warning system reacts automatically to any changes that can reduce the protective properties of the cabinet. We have already mentioned about the air curtain in the front walk-in opening, which ensures the personnel protection under the specified air velocity and integrity. The cabinet safety regulations appeal to the personnel to keep their arms while walking so that not to block the front air grill and not to break the air curtain integrity. If the personnel use a special armrest, it certainly makes their work easier, but they still should control the condition of the front air grill for the whole period of operation. Assume that the operator, deep in work, doesn't notice that the air grill is covered with something, his sleeve, napkin or package, it doesn't matter. The main thing is the result, the protection is broken. The cabinet has an audio-visual alarm system with an immediate response to the accidental coverage of the front air grill, and it will warn the operator of danger in due time. Let's carry out an experiment. Cover the perforation with a sheet of paper, and in 5 seconds you'll hear an alarm sound, which will become louder and louder, and see a red flashing light. Besides, on the display you will see a warning message, "Blocked cabinet air grill." This is a call to the operator's action, unblock the air grill. Audio-visual warning system REFLEX LS is designed by the specialists of LEM Systems CC and only used in the new generation of LEM Systems cabinets. The gestures of chimpanzees seem quite simple, but it is a complicated system of greetings and messages that emphasizes great intellectual abilities of chimpanzees. The new cabinet is provided with a microprocessor control system, which immediately informs the operator about reducing protective properties of the cabinet, showing an alarm message on the display and activating the audio-visual alarm system. The unambiguity of these messages hides the multifunctioning of the operational system, which monitors the cabinet working modes every second, indicates immediately deviations from the specified characteristics, and analyzes their causes. The operator doesn't have to find out what has happened. The system itself identifies the problem and sends the message to the display indicating the fault to be corrected. What the operator has to do is to follow the instructions. Bees keep the unique smell of their hive in a special place in their body, which they open and produce to the guards of the hive entrance as if their ID or pass. A no-touch electromagnetic key effectively protects the control system from an unauthorized access. You can use the control system button within 30 seconds from the joining the key and the reader. In 30 seconds, the control panel is automatically blocked, which prevents accidental pushing the buttons, for example, when cleaning the front surface. The standard delivery set includes 3 keys. In the case of their loss, you can buy a standard electromagnetic key and enter its code into the control system memory. Snakes prey on thermal radiation. They have highly sensitive cells under their eyes reacting to the slightest changes of temperature, up to fractions of a degree. The position of movable and removable parts influencing the cabinet's protective properties is controlled by optical sensors. Due to their high sensitivity, any displacement, even the slightest movement of the controlled objects, will be detected and the audio-visual alarm system will be activated. Did you know that the front sash is directly involved in the air curtain creation? That's why the height of the front working opening should be strictly fixed. Any change of this parameter, up or down, results in the airflow velocity deviations. Fortunately, working with LAM systems cabinets, you cannot change this parameter as the gas springs will return the sash to the specified level. But there are different situations. For example, the operator losing vigilance and forgetting about safety will decide to open the sash in the operating cabinet to load some more necessary equipment. To prevent this violation, the cabinet is provided with an optical sensor which activates when a gap between the housing and the front sash is just 5 mm. The intensity of ultraviolet radiation, which is necessary for the chamber disinfection, has a negative effect on the eye retina, causing painful inflammation. An optical ultraviolet unit sensor is designed to protect personnel from accidental irradiation. If you decide to open the ultraviolet unit during its performance, the sensor will immediately turn off the ultraviolet lamp. Cats have pull-out claws. To keep them always sharp, special ligaments hold them in when cats move and only release them when they attack their prey. The cabinet has a pull-out ultraviolet unit, which is placed under the tabletop and only used when it is necessary to make disinfection of the working chamber. The specialists have chosen this design after a long consideration. A bit of theory. There are 2 kinds of airflow. The first is laminar, when the air flows in parallel layers. with no disruption between the layers, and the second is turbulent, when along the flow there is an intensive vortex activity and a mixture of air layers. The airflow in the second-class biosafety cabinets must be laminar. This is necessary to protect products from cross-contamination. But let's have a look what happens with the laminar airflow when there is an obstruction. This is the ultraviolet lamp that can be such an obstruction when displaced in the working chamber. Going around it, the airflow becomes a turbulent one and is able to cause the product cross-contamination. And this is only one disadvantage of this ultraviolet lamp position. The lamp attaching points are also places where hazardous microorganisms can accumulate. Besides, these places are difficult to disinfect properly. That's why many manufacturers stopped installing an ultraviolet lamp into a working chamber. The design of the Pullout ultraviolet unit in lamp systems cabinets can simultaneously solve several problems. First, there is no air turbulence. Second, it makes decontamination easier. Third, this unit covers the front opening completely, isolating the working chamber from the external environment when the cabinet isn't working. Fourth, it protects the lamp from mechanical damage. Fifth, it doesn't require additional storage place as in case with a removable UV unit. Hippos can open their mouth up to 150 degrees. Eggshells are very strong as they have 7 layers and an elastic film inside. Woodpeckers don't suffer brain concussion as they have a damper between their beak and brain, and colorful wings of some butterflies can serve as a signal of danger for insect-eating birds. All the above is directly related with the cabinet front sash. What do you mean, you can ask? Let's have an insight into the matter. Front sash lifting mechanisms was designed taking into account the European standard EN 12469, biotechnology, performance criteria for microbiological safety cabinets. One of its requirements is an easy disinfection access to all working surfaces. Gas springs provide a complete access to the front sash from both sides as well as to the internal surface of the working chamber. The sash lifting angle is 130 degrees from vertical. Such swing allows you to disinfect and load the working chamber with great comfort. The front sash is made of laminated glass, Triplex safety glass. To see the difference between laminated and ordinary glass, have a look at the end of the glass. The laminated glass consists of 2 layers and a polymer film. On this reason, when broken, this glass doesn't have sharp injury-causing fragments, but is only cracked, keeping its form. High-quality laminated glass is long-life and reliable, resistant to mechanical damage, cracks and impacts, which the lamp system specialists made practical proof of. If you hit the laminated glass with a hammer, you'll see that it is really safe and reliable. It can only be broken with some effort and attempts. But what is more valuable is that, even broken, the glass keeps its form and the function of protective screen. The damage of the laminated glass doesn't result in violation of the airflow and thus in reduction of the cabinet protective properties. A hammer is, of course, an extreme test. The maximum danger for the front sash in the laboratory conditions is a sudden drop and impact with the housing. But for this case, the cabinet has a hydraulic damper, which can make a sudden drop of the front sash safe and quiet. The front sash corners are colored from the side of the working chamber. It serves as a warning, as in the opening position, the bright marking is well seen against the light-colored cabinet, so it prevents collisions with an open transparent glass. kangaroo's tail is a reliable support when the animal is sitting. Based on their tail, kangaroos rest, relaxing the muscles of their hindquarters. The movable armrest provides comfort at work and also a reliable support for the operator's elbows. Specialists know that it is vitally important when working with liquids containing pathogens. The armrest can prevent shivering and slipping, all those uncontrolled hand movements which can result in the liquid splashing and emergency conditions. As the armrest is quite small, it can be easily sterilized in the autoclave and will feed into the Pullout ultraviolet unit for storage. Among all living beings on Earth, ants have the biggest brain if compared with their bodies. The cabinet working chamber has the maximum large size with the minimum external cabinet dimensions. Taking into account small laboratory rooms, low ceilings, narrow doors and staircases, we have minimized the overall dimensions of the cabinet, but the size of the working chamber remained large. The title front surface improves the visibility of the working chamber, and the side glass gives additional lighting of the tabletop. The tabletop is made of stainless steel and divided into segments. Each can be easily sterilized in the autoclave. If you spill some liquid, the large working chamber and the segmented tabletop will help you to disinfect each segment inside the contaminated zone without taking the tabletop out. It is also convenient to remove liquid out of the drain spillage throw. The throw has rounded corners to achieve proper processing. Each of the 1,000 whale bones in the mouth of a baleen whale consists of bristles, filtering plankton, mollusks, and other food out of water. The cabinet is equipped with an intake and exhaust HEPA filters, providing air purification efficiency of almost 100%, 0.3 micrometer particles. This level of air purification is necessary and sufficient for microbiological activities. As an option, at the customer's request, the cabinet can be equipped with ALPA filters. The microprocessor control system monitors the contamination degree of the installed filters each time you switch on the cabinet. If the critical level is reached, which is about 90%, you'll see a message on the display. The exhaust filter is equipped with a valve which is used to balance the incoming and downward airflow and prevents an accidental overlapping of the exhaust door with foreign objects. HUMS has lipid storage, 3 eyelids as protection from sand, thick coats, outgrowth on elbows, knees and heels as burn protection. All this is necessary for a camel to survive in extreme desert-like conditions. Use additional options to adapt the cabinet to different operating conditions and to extend the performance range. You can install gas and vacuum taps with electromagnetic valves in an operating cabinet without any additional validation. In case of power failure or when you switch off the cabinet, the electromagnetic valve will stop supplying gases and vacuum automatically. Additional outlets in the working chamber and a hood to connect the cabinet with the external exhaust system will adapt the cabinet to your specific requirements and different types of activities. Microbiological safety cabinet Neoteric is designed in accordance with the European standard EN 12469, biotechnology, performance criteria for microbiological safety cabinets. Tests for accordance with the standard were carried out by experts of the International Safety Products Certification Organization Unauthorized. On the basis of the test results, a conclusion was made that the cabinets are ready to get an international TÜV Nord certificate. All standard products pass acceptance tests at the factory. During the test, specialists make all necessary checks and adjustments to guarantee the customer the appliance of the product to all regulations, standards and technical requirements. The testing department represents a clean room and has all certified equipment to carry out necessary tests. For example, the Neoteric acceptance test consists of 23 obligatory tests. In particular, there are tests for the general technical state of the cabinet, the integrity and functionality of its design, compliance to identification data. We also define the characteristics of incoming and downward airflow, check the integrity of filters and their seals, set the threshold values for audio-visual alarm system. The results of the acceptance test are registered in the test record sheet. Customer can contact the manufacturer and get a copy of the record sheet for each cabinet they bought. The cabinet is delivered to customers in a wooden case protecting the equipment from damage during transportation. Every cabinet has a detailed user manual where you can find traditional information about the cabinet configuration and technical characteristics, and also all details of installation, commissioning, operating, maintenance, and validation of the cabinet in the laboratory conditions. After the unpacking and assembly of the cabinet, you should choose its correct location in your laboratory. According to the recommendation of World Health Organization, a biosafety cabinet should be installed considering the existing airflows from windows and doors so that it would avoid drafts influencing the airflow in the cabinet. Remember that the proper airflow in the operating cabinet can be affected by portable fans, personnel, going around, and even another operating cabinet at a close distance. Move the cabinet to the place of its permanent installation using the wheel supports and then fix the cabinet using the screw supports. Notice that after you have fixed the cabinet with the screw supports, the wheels should not touch the floor. It is necessary to leave at least a 5 mm gap to avoid an accidental cabinet displacement, as even the slightest relocation entails the compulsory procedure of technical condition control. This is a requirement of a standard. You can read in the user manual that when you connect the cabinet to the power source, it will come to a standby mode. The red light goes on, but the buttons don't function. Notice that in the standby mode, the cabinet functions are off, but the outlets in the working chamber are alive, under voltage. Activate the cabinet using an electromagnetic key. The red light starts flashing. The control panel is active within 30 seconds, and you can turn on the lighting, then the fan. After that, the cabinet automatically goes to the operating mode. The maximum preparation time is 12 minutes. You can see a countdown on the display. During this period, the following processes are on: control system, primary heating, airflow sensor calibration, fan adjustment. The audio-visual alarm system is also on. You can turn off the sound to avoid discomfort. The flashing red light warns the operator that it is impossible to start work until all cabinet characteristics reach the specified parameters. When the cabinet is ready for the operating mode, the light turns green. You can start work. Notice that the working chamber is loaded and disinfected before the cabinet is in the operating mode. because after the airflow is created, any action violating its velocity and integrity will activate the alarm system. It's impossible to switch off the alarm during the operating mode. This is a standard requirement aiming at keeping the cabinet's protective properties, and therefore providing the guaranteed protection of the personnel, product and environment from pathogenic agents and microorganisms. Making a new generation of biosafety cabinets, the LEM system specialists used all their 15-year experience in designing and manufacturing equipment to create clean air environment. Everything in our new cabinets, their design, materials, control system, serves one aim: to make the personnel's activities as secured as possible. To focus completely on your work, leaving control to a reliable control system. To save time and effort during sanitation and disinfection. To equip your laboratory with cabinets which will be surely certified and help organize the working process at the world standard level. All this is possible with a new biosafety cabinet, Neoteric, made by LEM Systems CC. Neoteric, perfection inspired by nature.